You can't put this off forever. Into the heart of darkness.
As a simulation of a trip through a house of horrors, Until Dawn Rush of Blood gets the basics right. There's blood, murderous personas, and abandoned, decrepit structures around every corner. Rather than meander on foot, you sit in a cart on rails that automatically moves forward through these demented environments. At first, you're in a proper set of horrific but safe environments, armed with an air pistol, but it doesn't take long for the game to give way to more realistic threats, and issue shotguns and revolvers in favor of play guns. Though it transforms and tries to evoke true horror, Rush of Blood remains a benign experience that fails to elicit real fear. It's ultimately a basic light gun-like game with jump scares, but you can see them coming from a mile away. With a PlayStation Move controller in each hand and a PlayStation VR headset on your noggin, your primary task is to keep an eye out for bad guys that either run directly at you or throw objects from the safety of cover. Aim, fire, and reload as quickly as you can, or you might end up dying from a few unfortunate hits. Should you die, you respawn in close proximity. The one exception is the insane difficulty setting, which forces you to restart a level when you die. These levels include gruesome warehouses filled with squealing and dismembered pig carcasses, a haunted mental hospital with ghastly figures that dart in and out of sight, and a rundown carnival with sections of spooky woodlands. There are 7 levels in total, but they tend to bleed together in hindsight. Rush of Blood is fairly consistent in the tone and atmosphere of its settings, save for the surprising and vastly different final level. They're all dreadful and occasionally gross, and last about 10 to 15 minutes apiece. As you trundle through shadows and murky frights, you're accosted by the usual cast of horror bad guys. Thugs in clown masks, animated mannequins, zombie-like fiends, and spiders. Arachnophobes beware. With decent motion tracking in effect, aiming your shots with PlayStation Move controllers comes naturally after a few minutes, and you quickly learn how to react to threats in front of you and in your peripheral vision. There are some scenes where you have to frantically react to succeed, but a keen eye and a calm disposition is all that's required once you understand the relationship between the controllers and your virtual guns. There are a small selection of powerful weapons hidden in colorful boxes, but they only prove necessary during the game's final encounter, otherwise serving as a way to add some much-needed variety. Most threats follow routines and are generally easy to kill. Enemies from afar pop in and out of cover, and incoming enemies simply sidle up to your cart if you don't shoot them right away, making for truly easy targets. There's one ghastly mini-boss that sprints to and fro, making it difficult to hit from a distance, but again, all you have to do is wait for it to get in your face, fire a couple of rounds into it, and repeat the process until it's dead. Rush of Blood's other threats come in the form of obstacles that intrude upon your personal space. To avoid them, you simply need to lean to one side or duck. Granted, there are some moments where the cart is moving quickly and you have to react accordingly, but you typically have plenty of warning as the cart moves slow and steady. Obstacles in Rush of Blood feel like nothing more than filler. They aren't scary and they don't pose a meaningful threat. All told, Rush of Blood can be completed roughly in an hour and a half, and when it's all said and done, it doesn't seem like an experience that would greatly benefit from repeated playthroughs. There are a few alternate paths you can unlock in a couple of levels, but they generally lead to more of the same, just in a different arrangement. It's got disturbing taste overall, but that alone can't save what amounts to a largely predictable experience filled with straightforward action, dumb enemies, and cliched frights.